Good morning, friends, and welcome to our Awakening Your Sacred Heart experience. We wanted to offer this for Valentine's Day because we often forget the deeper meaning of love. Swami Sri Yukteswar said that normal human love is darkly rooted in desires and selfish gains, whereas divine love is without condition, without boundary, without change. And the human heart is transfixed by the touch of pure love. So let's invoke that sacred heart, that presence of God through pure love this morning with a prayer together. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, great masters of self-realization, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswar, Paramahansa Yogananda, saints of all religions, we humbly and lovingly bow before Thee. Awaken our sacred heart, that we may become pure instruments to receive Your divine love and to channel and share it with all in our daily lives. We are Thine. Oh, be Thou eternally ours. Om. Peace. Amen. I wanted to share a story with you this morning, a story of the bad man who was preferred by God. And this story goes that God sent an archangel, Narada, to find his true devotees on earth. And so as Narada embarked on this heavenly errand, he came across this anchorite, and he saw him practicing austerities and self-discipline. And he said, "Dear sir, what are you doing?" And he said, "Well, I am Bhadraka. I am an anchorite, and for 80 years, come rain or shine, I've practiced every self-discipline and self-flagellation. And who are you?" And he said, "Well, I am Narada. I am on a heavenly mission from God to find His true devotees." And Bhadraka, the anchorite, said, "Well, please, when you go back to your God, tell him, why hasn't he come to me after all these years? I am a true devotee of God." And so Narada said, "Well, thank you, sir," and was impressed with his austerities. And as he was embarking, he saw this drunken young man who was trying to put a fence together with bamboo poles. And just out of curiosity, he went over and said, "May I help you?" And the drunken man said, "No, sir, I will accept no help other than that eluder, God himself. He's been playing hide and seek with me, trying to get out of helping me." And Narada, with some mild derision, said, "You drunken fool, aren't you afraid that God would curse you?" And the man replied, "Not at all. He understands me better than you do." And Narada was shocked at this man's faith. He said, "Well, I'm an angel from heaven, and I've come to find true devotees of God." And the young man replied, "Oh, that's what you're here for? Then please put in the good word with God for me. And will you let him know, ask him, when is he coming to visit me? I've been calling and cursing out to him for years." And Narada reluctantly agreed, but he inwardly thought, you have a fat chance of seeing God. And he kind of left in disgust from the scene, and with great enthusiasm, he went back before his heavenly Father, and he knelt down and said, "I have some great news. I found this wonderful devotee of God." And he said, "Well, who is he?" And he said, "Well, his name is Bhadraka. He's this anchorite who's been practicing these austerities for years." And God said, "Well, I don't remember him." And he said, "Did you come across anyone else?" And he said, "Well, yes, but it was this young man who was drunk," God said. And he said, "Yes. So how did you know?" He said, "Well, I'll tell you what, go back to earth and tell both of them that I will visit them once I'm done passing 1,000,000 elephants through the eye of a needle. And Narada was perplexed by this request that God gave to him. And so he did. And he went back to the anchorite and he told Bhadraka this. And Bhadraka said, "What? 1,000,000 elephants through the eye of a needle? Forget this. God will never come to me. I give up my austerities and I'm going to go and enjoy the little left of life that I have." And Narada was shocked at how Bhadraka broke in this direction away from God. And then when he came upon the young drunk man, he was even seemingly more drunk, trying to still get that bamboo pole into the ground for that fence. And when he saw Narada, he said, "Did you talk to my Lord?" And he said, oh yes. He said, God said he will come to you when he passes 1,000,000 elephants through the eye of a needle. And the young man said, "Oh, my Lord, my God, my all, he is coming to me now, him that passes 1,000,000 universes and upholds the sun and the moon and the stars. He is passing these elephants through instantaneously. He is coming to me now, and I rejoice in his presence." And the man fell into a reverie, dancing in divine. Now he was drunk with divine joy, and Narada danced with him. And so it is for us that God doesn't care about all of our formalities, all of our prayers, all of our meditations. He is watching our heart. And it's important for us. What we need to do is to cultivate this heartfelt devotion, that we can have this kind of informality with God, like this young man, to speak with him, even cursing God's name, but thinking of God always. Because that is ultimately what will transform us, is God is watching our heart. And our heart is a sacred space. And the challenge is, why don't we feel that way? Why do we get drawn into emotions and outbursts and anger and these different meannesses of the heart? Well, Swami Kriyananda said something that is so simple and was so profound, I want to share with you. That all human suffering is due to the simple thought that things ought to be other than they are. You know that chant of Yogananda's, "Desire, my great enemy." Well, when we're not accepting life as it is, that's a repulsive desire. That's a dislike, in a sense, isn't it? And if we can learn this lesson, that just like God loved and accepted that young man, he didn't look at his faults. There was a story of a Buddhist monk who wasn't a carpenter, but he had to build, as part of their first monastery, this big brick wall. And he was very methodical, and 1,000 bricks, and he made sure they were perfectly set, and he erected this wall, and he was very proud of it. And then he looked, and to his dismay, he noticed there was these 2 bricks that were completely out of place. And the mortar had already set. There was nothing he could do about it. And he was so embarrassed that what a horrible job I did. And for years, he would avoid showing this part of the monastery to guests when they would come. And then one day, this guest came and said, "What a beautiful brick wall." And the monk said, "Well, can't you see those 2 horrible bricks that stand out?" And he said, "Yes, I see those 2 bad bricks, but I see 998 other beautiful ones." And this monk was transformed in that moment. He realized he had been focusing on those out-of-place bricks, when all the while there was this beauty of this erected wall right in front of him. It's just like Master is saying to us, that he thinks of us, God thinks of his devotees like a piano. And you can't say it's a bad piano if there's one note that's out of tune. So let us work with our strengths and work with our nature as it is, and accept ourselves and accept others and accept life Of course, there is so much pain and suffering in this world. Without God, it is nothing but pain and suffering. But when we accept not every little thing, but when we accept God, most importantly, in our hearts, that's what makes everything else in life acceptable. And we can awaken our sacred heart by doing our little part, by putting together our little fence, by erecting our little wall, by also breaking down walls as well, and opening ourselves to God's love and allowing it to flow in and to transform us. Because ultimately it is His grace and His love that will change us. And He won't come to us unless we love Him completely, unless we give Him our sacred heart, meaning our whole being, so that when pain and suffering comes to us in life, which is inevitable, that we offer that to God as well. Yogananda had that beautiful chant, Divine Love Sorrows. Through endless incarnations, Lord, I've called out for thy name, evermore moving towards thee, to thy vast, unthrobbing heart. It is all the pain, all the fluctuation, the vexations, the frustrations, the duality of life that we've all gone through, especially more intensely this past year with the pandemic. It's all bringing us towards that soul state of union, the sacred heart of God, His unthrobbing, vast heart that loves us. Still by hate unaffected, you remain our friend. God is our friend throughout all eternity. Let us make friends with Him now and give Him our hearts. God bless you.
Swami Kriyananda wrote a series of little booklets called The Secrets. One of them was called Secrets of Emotional Healing. And in that booklet, he gave important suggestions and tools for how to deal with negative emotions. But one thing that maybe is not quite as known is that he also assigned a few of his songs as antidotes for many of these emotional, negative emotions. And so we're going to share with you some of these, and we're also going to read the brief explanation of how we deal with this negative emotion, and then we're going to perform the song that Swami selected as a tool for overcoming this negative emotion.
And the secret of overcoming hurt feelings is to direct your attention outward in giving of yourself to others instead of dwelling self-centeredly on your expectations of them.
The green summer fade and winter draw near, my Lord, in your presence I live without fear. Through tempest, through storms, through turbulent tide, the touch of your
Good morning, great souls, and happy Valentine's Day. Today, for our special program on awakening your sacred heart, I'm going to guide us through a meditation that will show us how to calm our emotions, calm our hearts. When Paramahansa Yogananda came to the West just a little bit over 100 years ago, in his very first lecture, he talked about the importance of tuning into our feeling nature. In other words, tuning into our hearts. He said that being able to do that will lead to the highest happiness. In that same lecture, he said that all human beings are motivated by the same two things: the avoidance of pain and suffering, and the achieving of the highest happiness. He said the most important factor to achieving happiness is to become even-minded. How do we become even-minded? He had the answer: meditate. Now, whether you're new to meditation or you've been meditating for decades, you have probably experienced your mind jumping all over the place and being anything but even-minded. That is because Swami Kriyananda said, first we have to still our hearts if we want our minds to be calm. We have to calm the emotions, calm the feelings, and then we can be able to perceive true love, pure love, the unconditional love of God, which is residing within our hearts. That's right, it's there already. And the good news is, he said, that we don't have to do any work to perceive it. All we have to do is to uncover it. I'll read a quote. He says here, "The calmer your heart's feelings, the more clearly and spontaneously will pure love appear." The calmer your heart's feelings, the more clearly and spontaneously will pure love appear. Once we can feel this pure love, we will achieve the highest happiness. So let's sit upright and close our eyes and focus our gaze at the point between the eyebrows, the spiritual eye, the center of divine awareness. And let's concentrate on the heart and the center of the chest, remembering that the heart is the epicenter of all feelings, all emotions. Concentration there helps to calm the heart. Let's take some smooth, easy breaths. And as we exhale, feel that you're expelling not only air from the body, but any agitation that might be in the heart. And now let's deepen our breaths, taking long, smooth, full breaths with no holding, no strain, just enjoying the inhalations and exhalations. And releasing any agitation from the heart as we exhale. And notice as you inhale and exhale the upward and the downward sensations of energy in the body. Rising sensation with the inhalation and a downward movement of energy with the exhalation. This is the subtle energy flowing in the body. And if you can't feel it, visualize it. When we get to that calm place in ourselves, these currents are equal, they're balanced. Strong emotions, whether positive or negative, will place more emphasis on one current or the other. So try to make them equal, balanced, smooth. Same strength, same duration. Energy flowing up and down the spine. This helps to balance our reactions. And now, keeping the energy smooth, the inhalations long. When the energy passes through the heart, whether it's going upward or downward, mentally chant Om in the heart, as if a great gong were sounding inside the heart, sending its vibrations out to all the cells in your body. Feel that sound of the gong with each Om, as the energy passes through the heart, is dissolving any agitation, any excitement. And now, let go of watching the breath moving up and down. Let go of chanting Om at the heart and listening for the sound of the gong. And simply sit in that place of calmness, even-mindedness, balance. Still focusing on the heart and feeling it deeply relaxed. And now let's use the power of the mind to strengthen our ability to stay calm and balanced in our heart. Affirm after me. I accept with calm impartiality whatever comes my way. Free in my heart, I am not conditioned by any outward circumstance. And again, a little more softly, but with more energy. I accept with calm impartiality whatever comes my way. Free in my heart, I am not conditioned by any outward circumstance. And now as a whisper, I accept with calm impartiality whatever comes my way. Free in my heart, I am not conditioned by any outward circumstance. And now, taking it deep within, focusing at the point between the eyebrows, mentally repeat, I accept with calm impartiality whatever comes my way. Free in my heart, I am not conditioned by any outward circumstance. Now, let go of the affirmation, but stay in its feeling, being balanced, calm, even-minded. Allowing pure, unconditional divine love to blossom spontaneously in your heart. Now, prepare your mind to come back to outward awareness and slowly open your eyes. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Amen.
Door of
Hello, dear friends. My name is Arnab, and I'm so happy to be here. Very grateful for the opportunity to talk about Master, how I met him, and the discipleship and the journey that followed, how it has so wonderfully changed my life. As I was thinking about this topic, the first thing that came to me was it's not really that I met Master, but how he opened my eyes to see him. I used to be a doubter for most of my life, and my wife Padma, she was already on the path, and she was devoted. She took Kriya, yet I was wandering around. So, doubt and the doubters is what Master called the most miserable of all mortals, and I was one of them. I was completely steeped in the negative prejudices, in the constant vortices of chitta vrittis, the habits of materialistic listlessness, not necessarily desires, but listlessness. And then it happened. So when Swami Kriyananda came to Los Angeles, and this was August of 2010, to release a book, his book where after research, about William the Conqueror that Master was and how Henry Swami Kriyananda was his son. So that book release ceremony was planned for at Ford Amphitheater. And Swamiji was ill, but he miraculously, by Divine Mother's grace, was able to come and give a beautiful talk. And then during the break, people were walking out for snacks and refreshments. I felt a sudden, like a wind, coming and kind of hitting me in my face. And I saw in my mind's eye Master standing there, his hair and his robe flowing. He had that rod in his hand, and he was in his cosmotheandric voice, if you will. He said, "What are you waiting for?" And that completely shook me permanently. It's almost like in that energy, in that divine flow, all the iron filings of my, mortal lack of discipline, always trying to justify the tendencies which are self-demeaning, self-defeating, all of that getting washed away. And all my energy suddenly felt in alignment to his divine will, to his divine magnetism. So that started the journey in August of 2010. And Master is a Prem avatar. So this is a good season to talk about the Bhakti Yoga. Master kept saying, "Khapare, mukti dite pari, kintu bhakti dite pari koi," which means I can give you salvation, but I cannot give you devotion. So we develop that devotion in ourselves. So after that August day, I went through the entire journey and then became a disciple on July 12th, 2012. And what a wonderful journey it has been for the past 8+ years. The devotion, the humility, the gratitude, the expansion, the joy that I feel. I can't even recognize myself from before 2012, 2011, that kind of time frame. And as I'm developing humility, what I also try to do is everything that happens, I give it to Master and say thank you. I was in India for a family emergency early January, And while I was coming back, the plane was delayed, and I would have missed my flight from Frankfurt back to LA. And I was sitting at the back of the plane. By the time I would disembark and go, there's not enough time. And I just looked up to Master and said, whatever your will, Master. If you want me to hang around in Frankfurt, I will. And guess what? That was the only day it snowed in the past 1 month, and everything was delayed. So not only did I not miss my flight, I had to actually wait in Frankfurt to catch the next flight to come back to LA. And there have been millions and many such examples at work where I just gave it up to him. For whatever you want to do, please give me the strength to execute your will. So on this wonderful moment, I'd like to share these vibrations with everybody. What discipleship is, the Guru Shishya Parampara, us being disciples, as if there is a thread that is connecting us all the time to Master. Let us have the strength, at least I pray for the humility, the devotion, the gratitude that can always be with me with His grace. So I have the strength and courage to execute His will and in the process become free and joyfully melt into the infinite truth. Thank you.
I would like to guide you just briefly in few exercises where we can experience with our body like the opening of the heart. So just helping our chest to open, and it's just very simple. So you can just stand for just if you have a little space, but then not so much, just very simple standing. And we are going to do the double breath, the double breathing that maybe you know. So just with your palms in front of you, bending your knees, and then inhaling, tensing in a wave, and then exhaling, relaxing. And we use the double breath. So a short and long inhalation through the nose, and a short and long exhalation through the mouth and the nose. But what we can add is like thinking that we are opening the heart. So this is like the door of our heart this time. And so you can close your eyes and really visualize that you're opening your heart in every direction, expanding the heart. And so we can just start bending our knees, palms together, and just a double inhalation. Tense upward in a wave, open the door of your heart, and then relax and expand. And again, open this huge door of your huge heart and relax again. And feel light and love, unconditional love blessing your heart. That you're opening to a flow, a river, an ocean of infinite love. And then once more. And then relax. Relax your shoulders down and just feel for a moment your chest, your heart, the energy, especially here, focusing here. And now again, standing or even on a chair, we are just going to stretch the side of our body, and especially here at the chest. So with the next inhalation, you can just circle to the side, your right. Maybe you can start with the left actually. So the left arm to the side and then above your head, and light stretch over a little bit toward the right, like relax the shoulders and just feel this stretching of all this side. You can even just place the other hand on the hip just to have a little support of your spine. And with every inhalation, use the breath with every inhalation to lengthen here the stretch. And you can even try to breathe at this point. I'm feeling that you are breathing on the side of the chest, opening, expanding your heart. One more time. And then with the next inhalation, stretch upward and then relax down. Just feel the difference for a moment, maybe that you can feel in your chest, and then we can practice the other side. So inhale and just upward and stretch over, this time toward the left. And again, just support support your spine. And you can close your eyes again with a breath that is smooth, natural. And even you can use all the abdomen like a deep breathing. And feel that you're really expanding this side, opening this side that allows you to expand your heart and your capacity of love, of embracing life. And just a few more breaths here. And with the next inhalation, you can come back to the center and relax down. And again, just you can roll backward your shoulders. Just feel for a moment. Maybe you can already feel a difference. And then we practice one more exercise. And this time we just bring the right, maybe, yes, again, start with the left. The left arm in the middle, the midline of your body, 90-degree bended, the elbow. And then we open with an inhalation, the other arm to the side, and then exhaling, we can just go underneath the arm. And then you can just maybe join the back of your hands like this, or wherever you can just be. You can even have a strap if you need. But if you can just join your palms here. So just try to relax as much as you can, your shoulders down, and just keep the arms, the upper arms level to the shoulders. And now with every inhalation, just try to lift your arms a little bit more. And then exhaling slowly, slowly, just lower your arms. And again, inhale. And maybe just focus on the shoulders, on the chest, especially behind the heart in the back, the upper back. You can feel the opening of the spine, the upper spine, all this space. Just go very slow, trying to releasing tensions, obstacle to the flow of energy. And just move as lightly or as much as you can without forcing, without pain. Well, just one more time. And then just release your arms to the side. You can again relax the shoulders. And just pause for a few moments and just feel the expansion of the chest. And maybe the breath even is like more free. You can experience more freedom, more space in your heart.
Let's take the arms and legs out wide, a bit like that Leonardo da Vinci, Vitruvian Man. And then just create like a circle of light with your arms. Just try to feel, especially in the heart, that sense of lightness, spaciousness, like the air element that symbolizes the unconditional love, the heart that is not attached to likes and dislikes. Okay, and now open the arms. Let's take the left foot out and try to have it centered by the instep of the back foot. If you need to modify a bit, then do that. We didn't really have warm-ups here, so we got to make it work for the body. And then take your arms and leg up. Inhale and then exhale, open. Inhale. This in itself is sort of a warm-up that we can get at least the legs and the arms starting to expand and feel the prana, the life force dancing through the body. Okay, like a mountain or ocean breeze. Inhale, let's lift up. And then you can either keep the knee bent or straighten it. So you can always straighten it if it becomes too much. And just gently relax the arms, hold the back arm a little bit like an archer's bow, and affirm mentally, I joyfully manifest the power of God. I joyfully manifest the power of God. Now let's take the feet forward and the arms. Inhale. Open again the arms and legs like a 5-pointed star. Perhaps take the arms back slightly. Feel again, offer that heart energy to the eye of infinity, the spiritual eye. I joyfully manifest the power of God. And then let the arms come down, open again like a circle of light, the auric field. Feel that light is expanding with each movement, each inhale, each exhale. And then take the hands to the heart. If you feel to close the eyelids, offer the heart light to the eye of infinity. I joyfully manifest the power of love, divine love, the power of God. Let's do the other side. So let's take the right foot out again. Make sure it's centered by the inner arch of the back foot. Knee is pointing towards the second toe. Open the arms with a sense of love, devotion, bhakti. Reach the arms and leg up. Inhale and exhale. Open, expand that heart, emerald green heart light, like a beautiful meadow unfolding, or a beautiful garden of green light, like an astral meadow or garden. Inhale, feel like wings expanding your heart, the lightness of the air element. Inhale, and again, let's settle into our Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Holding that back arm gently a little bit. Find a place where you can fix your gaze or close the eyelids. Like a warrior of love. Now let's bring the legs forward, arms and legs again, like a 5-pointed star. Reach the sky, inhale, and exhale, open once again. Like a dance of prana flowing through you, from you, within you, all around you. Like in our Wave of the Sea chant of Yogananda, thou and I never apart. Wave of the sea, dissolve in the sea. And then open again the arms, bring the hands to the heart, close the eyelids if you feel to. Offer like a flower of love, the heart towards the spiritual eye, silvery white light at the forehead, and affirm again, I joyfully manifest the power of God. I joyfully manifest the power of God. Feel that sacred oceanic light, love, flowing through the waves of your heart light, filling you with peace, nurturing love of Divine Mother, the power of God.
To thy door, Lord, they have come to thy door. Give them an audience, Lord, they have heard thy name. The blind, halt and lame, they have heard thy name. The blind, halt and lame, those who despair, wipe thou their tears. in sin. To whom will they go? Those who are drowned in sin. To whom will they go? They have no one, Lord, they have no one. Do not turn them away. They have heard thy name, the blind, halt, and lame. They have heard thy name, the blind, halt, and lame. They have come to thy door, Lord. They have come to thy door. Give them an audience, Lord. They have heard thy name, the blind, halt, and lame. They have heard thy name, the blind, halt, and lame. Those who are in despair, wipe thou their tears. Those who are in despair, wipe thou their tears. They have come to thy door, Lord. They have come to thy door. Give them an audience, Lord. They have heard thy name, the blind, halt, and lame. They have heard thy name, the blind, halt, and lame. Those who are drowned in sin, to whom will they go? Those who are drowned in sin, to whom will they go? They have no one, Lord. They have no one. Do not turn them away. 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 They have heard thy name, the blind, halt, and lame. They have heard thy name, the blind, halt, and lame. They have come to thy door, Lord. They have come to thy door. Give them an audience, Lord. Give them an audience, Lord. Give them an audience, Lord. Give them an audience, Lord.
Hello, friends. I'm going to read to you today from Whispers from Eternity by Paramahansa Yogananda, edited by his direct disciple, Swami Kriyananda. This is number 130, Demand to See God's Love in All Human Love. With the love of all human loves, I have come to love thee, thou God of all loves. Thou art the Father, anxious to protect his children. Thou art the little child, lisping love to its parents. Thou art the Mother, showering infinite kindness on all her family. Thou dost flow in the all-surrendering love of the lover for the beloved. Thou art the love of friends for one another. Purify me with the reverence of the servant for his master. Teach me to love thee with all pure loves. Thou art the fountain of love, both earthly and heavenly. Bathe me in the fountain spray of all loves.
Divine Mother, my Divine Mother, Divine Mother, my Divine Mother, engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my Divine Mother, engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my Divine Mother, Divine Mother, 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 my Divine Mother, engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my Divine Mother, engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my Divine Mother, Divine Mother, 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 my Divine Mother, engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my Divine Mother, engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my Divine Mother, Divine Mother, 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 my Divine Mother, engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my Divine Mother, engrossed is the bee of my mind, on the blue lotus feet of my Divine Mother, Divine Mother, 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 my Divine Mother.
Greetings, dear friends. My name is Padma, and I'm so happy to share on this special day where we are celebrating love with all of you. I would like to share a poem written by Paramahansa Yogananda. And before I share that, I want to think about this divine love, this touch of divine love that our Guru, our Master Paramahansa Yogananda has brought into our lives. His promise of unconditional love to us as he waits for our unconditional love towards him. This perfect love knows no bounds. It has no beginning and it has no end. And it is the very fabric of the universe as we know it, the three worlds as we know it. And so now, in his words, from his book of Songs of the Soul by Paramahansa Yogananda, I will share with you the poem called What is Love? Love is the scent with the lotus born. It is the silent choirs of petals, singing the winter's harmony of uniform beauty. Love is the song of the soul, singing to God. It is the balanced rhythmic dance of planets, sun and moon lit in the sky hall festooned with fleecy clouds, around the sovereign silent will. It is the thirst of the rose to drink the sun rays and blush red with life. 'Tis the promptings of the Mother Earth to feed her milk to the tender, thirsty roots, and to nurse all life. It is the urge of the sun to keep all things alive. Love is the unseen craving of the Mother Divine that took the protecting Father form, and that feeds helpless mouths with milk of mother's tenderness. It is the baby's sweetness, coaxing the rain of parental sympathy to shower upon them. It is the lover's enslaved surrender to the beloved to serve and solace. It is the elixir of friendship, reviving broken and bruised souls. It is the martyr's zeal to shed his blood for the well-beloved fatherland. It is the ineffable, silent call of the heart to another heart. It is the God-drunk poet's heartaches for every creature's groans. Love is to enjoy the family rows of petal beings, and thence to move to spacious fields, passing by portals of social, national, international sympathy, onto the limitless cosmic home, to gaze with looks of wonderment, and to serve all that lives, still are moving. This is to know what love is. He knows who lives it. Love is evolution's ameliorative call to the far strayed sons to return to perfection's home. It is the call of the beauty-robed ones to worship the great beauty. It is the call of God through silent intelligences and starbursts of feelings. Love is the heaven toward which the flowers, rivers, nation, atoms, creatures, you and I, are rushing by the straight path of action right, or winding laboriously on error's path, all to reach heaven there at last.
I